Right, hello YouTube viewers, and today on GD Survival's channel we're going to talk about knives. Now here in front of you, you can see three basic concepts of the type of knife you would take into a bushcraft or survival scenario. Now I've gone for a more military kind of orientated type of knife, selection of knives, but obviously it's down to individual preference. These are knives that I've seen reviewed and seen being used and have been highly recommended by people. Starting at the top, we've got the cold steel SRK survival rescue knife. I believe it's a 6-inch blade, and it's got a black alloy type paint coating on it, rubber handle. I've added here, you can see, just get a bit more light going on, not very good lighting here actually, but you can see I've added a lanyard because of course you don't want to drop your knife. You want to be able to keep it on you. You could be up in a tree or something and you're trying to do something and you might let go, or you could drop it into a pond, or but it's just good that when you're using a knife you have it attached to you in some way. I mean that's a personal preference, I think. Actually, you don't need to have it, but I just have it on there because I like making lanyards, and I've done a diamond knot, a diamond style knot on the end there. Don't know if you can see that. Quite a basic knot. You can see videos on how to make those types of knots, and then obviously you just 550 paracord and you just melt the end there, and it's just a nice way. And actually it makes it possible, once you've done the knot, you can loosen it and you can move it up and down the length of the lanyard to get it tight up here and tight up there. It's just better than your normal kind of double hitch type of knot that most people do, but whatever. It's just a personal preference. 7-inch blade, I think. Yeah, cold steel manufacturer. This is actually the one made in Japan. I don't know if you can see that there. I need to get some better light in here because I can't. There we go. Cold steel, made in Japan. Now, it was actually originally made in the US. I think it's an Oz 8 steel, but basically, this is your kind of standard military stroke combat survival type knife. It's quite straightforward really. Comes with a Kydex sheath. I'll add some more paracord here because it's always good to. There's a little bit extra there that I'll probably cut off, but it's just good. Paracord has 1,000,001 uses, as I'm sure many of you are aware. Shelter building traps. It's got the 7 internal strands that you can use for fishing line, repairing clothes, whatever. So I just wrapped some extra around there, and what I was going to do is I was going to attach a little pouch on the front here, so that I could put my sharpening stone, maybe a lighter, or maybe some fishing hooks or something, just so that it's kit within a kit. This is a thing about survival and bushcraft concepts, is that you have kits within kits. So you have, this isn't just a knife, it's a kit, because it's got the paracord, and I want to attach a sharpening stone to it so that it's like a self-contained item essentially, which means that in a desperate situation you could just grab the knife, and it's not just a knife, but you've got other flexibilities there to do other things with, like repair kit, like maybe attach a sewing needle. So you could have some fishing hooks, a sewing needle, a sharpening stone, and then you've got quite a useful bunch of stuff there. The sheath is what comes standard with it. I got this in the UK. Obviously in the UK, items like this, imported items, pay quite a premium. So in the US I've seen this listed for $80 or something like that, $80, but in the UK you pay about £90, which is actually about $110 or something. So, but anyway, it's a good bit of kit. It's well made, it's robust, it's a good strong sheath. It comes with a good Velcro and press stud on the back there, so you've got that because of course some people don't maybe not realise, but in winter conditions in snow, you get snow up into this Velcro and it freezes and you can't actually undo it. So that's good. That's an extra benefit there of having the clip press stud clip, so you know it's securely fastened. You know, it's quite a large belt loop there as well, so you know it's going to fit on most of your military style pistol belts or survival belts, Black Hawk type belt, which is actually what I have, is a Black Hawk belt. And so yeah, that's, you know, a very good bit of kit. But I have to be honest, I don't actually use this very often because of its military type, you know, its military look and the size of it. You know, I mean, obviously it's going to be, because of the length of the blade, it's going to be good for batoning wood and chopping wood and stuff. But in reality, I don't actually take this out with me because it's just too big. You know, I don't really need something that big. So we'll put that to one side for now. We'll come to the second knife, which is actually a type of knife I use the most often. And you can see here, as with the other knife, I've made some modifications. Now I have to give credit where it's due here to Dave Canterbury of the Wilderness Outfitters Archery. Dave Canterbury, of course, you may have seen him. He has his own YouTube channel, Wilderness Outfitters, and he's also actually recently done a thing on Discovery Channel called Dual Survivor, where, you know, again in there it's wilderness concepts, survival techniques, and an idea that I picked up from him was, again, you know, this idea of kits within kits. So what I've done here is I've attached a bit of red electrical tape there. Now that can be used for marking, repairing, you know, it's just something useful to have with you, because there's probably 1,000,001 uses for electrical tape, repairing and if, for instance, let's say you were laying snares or traps, you know, sometimes it can become difficult to find them. So you can put a bit of this electrical tape onto a tree or branch near where you've set your trap, and then it'll be easy to identify. Obviously red stands out quite brilliantly against black background. Here I've got a bit of a bicycle inner tube. Now, lots of uses for that. Obviously, I can, you know, I could put things under here that I needed to attach in place. It's basically a giant rubber band. It's in America they call it a Ranger band, which is, you know, essentially it's an inner tube, and you cut the inner tube into strips, and it gives you a pretty robust thing. Now, also what you can do, which is quite good with this, is you can cut little pieces off of this rubber, and it burns even when it's wet. It burns well. I mean, it's like petrol basically, you know, or gasoline, you guys in the States call it. You know, you rip a little bit of this off. You know, it doesn't. You could throw this in water, pick it back up, and light it, and it will still light. So, you know, there's another. You know, kits within kits. Several uses there. You know, attachment of things, and a fire starter. So, okay. And then here, what we have are some Ranger beads, I believe they're called, or pacing beads. And the way that it works is you've got 9 beads here, and every 10, I think, every 100 paces you do one. Yeah, I mean, you have to work it out to what you do. I mean, for people of different heights, different walking speeds, whatever, but basically for every 100 paces you go 1, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and then you move the whole thing back. Quite stiff, which is good. They need to be stiff so that they don't move around. And then you move one of these up, so that's 1 kilometre there that you've done. And then you do the same thing again, go all the way up, 2 kilometres, 3 kilometres, 4 kilometres, and then you go back to 5. So then that's a way of measuring for your map reading and coordinating and stuff. And so the way that this works, again, this is all credit to Dave Canterbury, is I've attached this to a lanyard, so you can use it as a neck knife, and then you've got this readily available in an easy to get to position so that you can count your pace. And this is just a cheapo one that I got from I think like eBay. It was probably about 3 or 4 quid. It's just 3 or 4 pounds, which is what, about $6 or $7, and it's just black rubberized plastic beads on a piece of thin paracord there.